Listen to me, man. It's time to earn respect.
Way to go! The 22 Gators are accountable and ready to earn some respect.
Now, I've been holding you back for too long. We get to play football against somebody else tonight. When it gets a little thick in there tonight, I want you to get back to back, and I want you to go fight.
Johnson left side, 1-on-1, busted a man over at the 31. Ball comes out, picked up by Utah. Flush out of the pocket, rolling right, dumps it off, and the tight end loses a head and is in for the score. And this crowd is urging Napier and the Gators to go for it, Shane, on 4th and 2. Richardson keeps out to the play fake, hops on the goal line, touchdown, Gators! Crushed by Miller, he came firing right up the middle. Richardson tucks it and runs. He's loose. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20 left side to the 10, to the 5. Chump, chump, chump. Touchdown, Gators. And the Gators have a chance to take the lead with 1:42 to go in the first half.
We gotta go earn it.
They got us for 60. 60. Okay, you got them on the mat. Okay, they get the ball. Okay, we need to go out here and stop them, get it back, and let's turn that swamp up. Everybody got it. Yeah, here we go. They got us for 60 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
They got us for 60.
For Utah. 4th and go inside the 1. Turns, hands off to Thomas. Maybe the knee went down. The officials are conferring. Gators say they made the stop. First down, Florida on a goal line stand and holding that 1-point lead. Hand it off, spinning Johnson's loose. There's a first down, 10-5. Johnson high steps it into the end zone. Touchdown, Gators. What a play by the Florida quarterback. Touchdown, Utah. The seesaw battle continues. Pocket closing. Richardson's loose. First down and more. Keeps out to the fence. Running right. Plows in the end zone. Touchdown, Gators! Touchdown, Gators! Florida leads it by 2. 28-26. Using on the shotgun with Bernard. His right hip, looking to throw, guns it for the end zone. Intercepted! Amari Martin is intercepted! 1 yard in the end zone! The journey for the Gators has an exclamation point here on the first step.
How about them Gators? I know this is a special moment, a special experience for you, okay? But I want you to learn something, okay? I want you to learn something. All right, we talk about having a team. All right, we talk about sticking together. All right, doing things together. I mean, that's what we've worked on. Okay, you guys can play football. You've been playing your whole life. It ain't about that. Okay, it's about the teamwork, the chemistry. It's about discipline. It's about detail. Right? It's about responding during the fight because you were trained that way. Let's enjoy it. All right, but you remain humble and you show up with an edge tomorrow and understand we got work to do to get better.
stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
Yeah, sorry about that. There was an audio switch. Somebody didn't click, but that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, that was a magical moment right there. I thought.
Screaming too loud.
You were screaming. You're right. But, yeah, sorry, folks.
I mean,
all right, let's go to this guy. He's busy. He's on. We're going to save our spot till later. David Whitley. And David, I don't know if you heard that video or not, but that was really something. Our thanks to the University of Florida who put that. That is first class.
I heard the video, but I didn't hear you.
Good.
which is something of a big disappointment.
No, if you had to hear one, it's better that you heard the video.
I agree.
I just said
I can hear you all now.
Yeah. How about that? And how about Florida, the number 12 team in the AP poll today, and of course the number 19 in the coaches poll. They didn't give Billy the love, but yeah, it's remarkable what's happened all of a sudden, David, in a matter of days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been like a dream sequence since Saturday night in a way, because you couldn't really have designed a better night, a better opening night for the Napier era. I mean, it sure beat, they could have come in and played, I don't know, Duquesne or somebody like that and won 63-2, but that wouldn't have proven anything. This had it all, and I mean, you could tell just by how a team goes from being unranked to number 12. I mean, that's quite a statement. I think it's a little bit too much of a statement, frankly. I don't know how you go from 0 to 12. Yeah, yeah. But I'd be a little more comfortable if I'm Billy Napier with that 18 ranking right now. Just work your way up, keep proving things. But that's what this week is for.
Yeah, I said this morning on Shane Matthews' show, and another show I did, I've been saying all year, don't fall in love on the first date.
Yeah.
The first date's over, the romance is on, and the engagement's coming soon, and Billy is going to get married to the Gators forever. This is what it began. It's just one game, but it's more than one game because it speaks volumes to what's in that. If you saw that video, what was your impression? What do you think? How do you feel? And are we overvaluing this win?
Well, I just said I don't think in the Billy Napier picture, it confirmed everything that people hoped. Like you said, if this was a matrimony, and you finally were carried over the threshold, you realize the guy who picked you up, you're in strong, capable hands here. He proved it carrying it over, to carry that analogy far. But I mean, the win itself, the actual X's and O's, it gave you something to build on this season. I mean, it made you convince you that the big doubts we might have had coming in, specifically Anthony Richardson, has he really made the next step, or is this just stuff that we're hearing on practice field? You don't know, but he proved that all that stuff that people were hoping and saying is true, that he has made that next step. But he's still a work in progress. So you don't, as you said, you don't get overly excited.
Yeah, but people are look. Here's the thing: you have to know. Fans are fans. They deserve to get excited and get. That's what they do. Let them look at that swamp. They were the stars of the swamp on Saturday night. And I was just talking to a friend of mine who's a longtime Gator fan, who's been going to the games for 35 years. He says, I don't know how you judge a game as a sponsor for a group. He says, whether it's loud or what, I just know everything was magical and the noise was loud all the time. And the crowd really made a difference in that game. And that's what Billy said later. So the standpoint of the swamp, when they give them that W, put a little asterisk or a little star next to the crowd, because they really played a big factor. Now that's the crowd. Then there's, of course, the media. And now we've seen the media reaction after undervaluing this team. Anthony Richardson was snubbed. I don't care what people say. They gave him the cold shoulder all year. He suddenly is now thrust on the scene. And now the rest of us have to see what happens with the program and what they do on Saturday night. So there's several components there, David.
Yeah, and I think that before we didn't really know what the floor was for this team. Mm-hmm. Now I think we know the floor is probably should be no worse than 7 wins.
Well, you saw the 6-6. What people were saying, the floor is 6-6, and there ain't no 6-6 floor. I can figure that out. So.
Yeah, now you figure the absolute floor should be 7 wins, and the ceiling could be 10 or 11 wins. People, again, it's good for fans to get excited, but when I hear that, oh man, they might be 7-0 going into Georgia, I still go, oh, okay, well, don't get too excited just yet. 7-0 still sounds like there's a lot of work to get there, but at this point. When you have something like this already in your pocket, a win over Utah, because the way I look at it, there's Utah, Kentucky, Tennessee. Those are the toss-up games in the next, in the first part of the season. If they went 2-2 in those, they'd be doing good. Now it's easy to conceive 3-1, if not 4-0.
Take me back and tell me, David, the moment for you. I'll tell you mine and afterwards. Tell me what was the moment when you think things are definitely different.
I saw it right away on their first drive when, like everybody, I was hyper focused on AR and just what he would do. And you could tell that he had the poise and the confidence in himself and the calm that, he said he had jitters, but he hit him pretty well, I thought. And he was under control. And plus the plays they were calling for him were to his strength. He wasn't asked to go to his 4th read and throw it deep, stuff like that. It was good, quick, precision passing and it played right to his strengths, and he made those quick decisions, and he was sharp. And you look like a defensive coordinator for Utah trying to figure this game out right now. You doing okay in there? Can you hear me? You having audio problems?
No, okay. We're good. We just got graphic problems. We're listening to every word you said. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
No, this is typical fair fight. We fight like brothers all day. Like it's always yelling at each other. So I'm telling him. He's not listening.
Yeah, I could tell something was a little bit askew, but
we're good. I'm sure we're listening to every word you're saying. We're apologizing.
Okay. But to me, it was just when I saw that it looked like the Anthony Richardson that everybody had hoped they would see on that first drive.
Yeah,
that I could tell it was different, and you could also he had been really coached up very well.
Well, I felt like that was because I was down on the field and shooting highlights and stuff, and you really did feel, it wasn't like, I wouldn't say conservative, as far as, but it was very controlled. It was, they had run those plays several times in practice that for opening drive, because there's a lot on him in the off season. And a lot of people, you got 90 plus in the swamp. So there was a lot of pressure there, and I think that was very controlled, and that's good coaching, right?
Oh yeah, and they had, I think, 4 straight plays with 4 first downs, and they were rolling. And of course, then they had the fumble and it came back, but they came, that was just one of those things. They said that just brought out the other aspect that Napier said he wasn't sure about, and that was the amount of fight in this team.
Yeah,
and they weren't rattled.
And
that showed it right away.
The inadvertent, tough love that creates grit, right? You don't hope for it to happen, but at the same time, if when you can recover and win from mistakes like that, because you think that happens, you think things go downhill quick, they go and score. Now you're thinking, okay, you start second guessing yourself real quick, and you feel inside of a fishbowl really fast.
I mean, it could have been very deflating, but they came right back and stuck to the game plan. No panic. I mean, there's no reason to panic, but other teams would have, I mean, certainly when things are going badly, that would have been the kind of thing that would make a team that, let's say the team we saw the last month of last year, it would have folded its tents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he mentioned that in the video about the fight. That was important, I think. And I think the rising to the occasion in a magnificent way, both offensively and defense. The moment for me, and we'll take a quick break and come back and get a commercial in here, is when they got down there on their drive, they're behind, and they're driving down the field, and it's 4th and 2, and they're like, I don't know, got it my play-by-play, but let's just say it's a 23 or 4-yard line. And I'm thinking, you know what? They need to kick a field goal here, get points on the board. They called timeout, and they came back, and thank goodness they didn't. They went for it and made it. And I wrote in my notes, his first scared money don't make money moment, he passed that one. And it was on from there on.
Right. He lived up to that motto, no doubt.
He did.
I mean, like that last drive, there's never any doubt they were going to go for it all in that 2-pointer and everything.
Right. Yeah, so we'll do a quick commercial and we'll come right back, David. All right, stand by 1 second. It's here for Jeffrey Meldon and Meldon Law, where you matter most. If I can get my screen working, there it is right there. All right.
I'd make him nervous.
A breaking story, okay?
All right.
So this year, my wife Patricia and I are chair people for the Alzheimer's Association. And Meldon Law was founded in 1971. So for every free throw made this year by both the men's basketball team and women's basketball team, Meldon Law is donating $19.71 to the Alzheimer's Foundation.
Nice. What's the 1971? When you started the law firm?
Yes.
Very good. That's a great story and a great idea. And it couldn't be for a better cause, because we know how devastating that disease is to a lot of people and families. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you, buddy.
Meldon Law, he does a lot of nice things where you matter most.
I know. Hey, buddy, we're just trying to keep our own minds straight, right?
That's the truth. I might need your help, so I'll give you a call. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Okay, man.
Thanks, Jeffrey. We know that, things are moved, so I'm trying to find it here. Here it is up there. All right. So, all right. So, David, a lot of people are saying...
On behalf of the Gators, I'm happy that the Meldon Law Firm wasn't founded in 33 AD.
Yeah. I knew you'd find a number in there someplace that you liked. So what we're hearing now is a lot of people are saying, oh, no, don't do this. We don't want to be that high. A team unranked jumps in and goes to 12, which has never happened since, by the way, last time was 1996. Gee, what happened that year? And now Gator fans, many of them, I've been hearing from them all day. We've been working at this all day.
That's the problem, is we're all tired, I think.
We've been grinding all day. We've got some new things to talk about. Anyway, the point being that now they're afraid. To me, I think it's a wonderful moment to savor, and everybody wants to be a coach. Oh, no, that's going to kill us. We're going to lose it. And I get that, all right? But you can't have it both ways, right? You got it, own it, play it, and let Billy handle it.
Yeah. Well, all that really matters is, is what the 85 players think of that. And Angie said, there's no doubt that Napier has been, once they came out, if they saw the polls, the minute he thought he went into like the Nick Saban rat poison mode about, don't let this go to your head. And now whether it does or not remains to be seen, but I get the feeling that it won't. If nothing else, all he really needs to do is show him the tape of last year's Kentucky game, and say, this is not the kind of team that you can afford to go in with a big head against, and thinking we are the 12th best team in America. I'm sure Stoops is using, because Kentucky they went from 20 to 20. Of course, they didn't. I mean, they beat Miami of Ohio, which isn't the kind of team that you're going to gain a lot of points with. But he could say, goodness, we won, they won, and they go from nothing to 12.
Yeah.
And poor old Kentucky, what do we got to do? He says, I'll tell you what we got to do. We got to beat those SOBs down at the swamp.
Well, one guy that's got a little heat going, and that is that my friend Chris Doring, which we were going to start the program with, this bite about him in Kentucky, but we had this hype video that we got so excited about, we decided to open with that. Uh-huh. But Doring, he picked Kentucky to win 11 games. Yeah. And we talk on this piece, this bite we'll play after this interview with you, about what now. Now, he reserves the right to change his mind based on the personnel. We all know there's been changes. Who will show up on Saturday night? I mean, will somehow miraculously with Rodriguez show up? I don't think so. And whatever. We know that Kentucky's got a really good offensive line and some good running backs that play pretty good defense. But the question is, can they come into the swamp now in this game, the game of the week in the SEC, I think, when you've got two nationally ranked teams going after it? And can they come in there and take care of business? Because, the stats say no. The Gators are 53-19 against the Wildcats. They had a 29-5 mark at one point. They won 33 of the last 35 meetings in the series, and 20 of the last 21 at home. So what would you say if you're a gambler? The odds are Kentucky's dropped from a 7.5 point underdog to 4. I think that's right. Is that right? What it is? Anyway, it dropped. So your thoughts about that now? Can Kentucky come in here and do this or not?
Oh, well, the potential is there, like you said, because Kentucky is, pretty much almost a mirror image of Utah. I don't think they're offensively, that they might not be, their offensive line probably isn't as good because they have had to replace a lot of guys there. And as you said, Rodriguez is, it's funny. That's like a state secret what his situation is, but it doesn't appear he's going to play. But defensively, it's the kind of team that they will keep a team in a game all the way, because they are saying that their front seven, they say, is about as good of a defense as they've had there that they can remember, and they got some young guys, but a lot of potential behind them, also that Stoops showed pretty much nothing against Miami of Ohio,
and it looked like they gained about 53 yards rushing, didn't they?
Yeah, and both offensively and defensively, I would suspect that in their preseason film sessions and all that, 10% of the time was devoted to Miami of Ohio, and probably 90% was devoted to the Gators and their game planning. And so I'm certain that just from who they played the first game versus who Florida played, that they have a much better idea of what Florida can do than Florida has an idea of what Kentucky will do.
Yeah, and they'll mix and match in that regard. The question I want to ask you is, were you impressed with Florida's running game? And where does it go from here? Do you expect to see more of the same? I do, but I think we're going to see those same 3 running backs. Yeah. We're going to see them. And now Anthony Richardson had 106 of that, whatever, too. So we got to remember that. But they ran the ball well. I was impressed with all 3 running backs, and I like how they gave the ball back after the fumble to the guy who fumbled.
Yeah. And of course it all begins up front, and you had to be impressed with the line too.
Yeah.
Clearing the way. Billy said he felt good about the first 7 to 8 guys that he has there, and you could see why. You could also see why Osiris Torrance has gotten all the preseason love that he's got.
Road grader, man. Yeah. That guy's something.
Yeah, that transfer portal, it say giveth and it taketh away. Well, it certainly gave them it's helped their running between him and Montrell Johnson. Unfortunate fumble to start us, but he came right back, but you're right, the three of them, it'll keep you off balance. I mean, Etienne was the real revelation, I think, because we knew what Naquan Wright could do when he's healthy,
right?
And you heard enough about Montrell and seen on film, but Etienne, you're just hearing stuff from practice. He's got a home run threat. He could be that guy, and sure enough, you get him the ball, and he is that guy that you look and you just can't take your eyes off of.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I said this on several shows this week, and I don't want to be the guy who is like crowing or whatever, but I thought the media, quote unquote, whoever that is, I'm thinking now the national media, and let's be honest, you were a part of the national media once, so was I, and you got to understand that they don't get the chance to drill down and get the information that people who are on the beat like you get. They overlook Anthony Richardson. Now, I've argued with Shane about this. Well, no, that's their opinion. I don't care. You put out a list of 10 quarterbacks who you think were the best around, and there's no Anthony Richardson on it before the game. Don't come to me and say, well, I didn't know. Well, then don't write the damn list. Okay, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I think he got disrespected. People are eating their crow. Today I see Kirk Herbstreit had his list of quarterback performances. I believe he put Anthony Richardson like third or whatever. So suddenly they know who Anthony Richardson is. Number 15 ain't Tim Tebow, but he's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah. If you just look at his stats, I mean, they were especially his passing stats, they're not going to blow you away, the thing. And, and look, he ran the ball well, but that's just if you saw the numbers. If you saw how he accomplished them, there were about 3 or 4, just eye-popping play. And everybody talks about a guy needs a Heisman moment. It seems like he has like 2 Heisman moments every game.
Yeah. I agree.
Which
one did you like the best? Which was the one what you thought it was? I got mine. Which one was his? Was it a 45-yard run? Was it a 2-point conversion? Because that was fine.
Yeah. I mean, the 45-yard run was nice, and it just showed what a dangerous runner he is, and that God help the defensive coordinators who are trying to if they don't get a spy on him, because him in the open field is lethal. Yeah. But that that 2-point play, that was just like playground Michael Jordan basketball there, And the way he just juked those 2 guys and then just calmly delivered the pass. I mean, and that's the thing that really impressed me was that he never looked out. He always looked like he was within him. Billy pointed out too that there was maybe one bad play where you had a flashback to last year and sort of like where he missed it.
Yeah, it should have been
intercepted. Guy, and then he forced a ball that should have been intercepted. But I was thinking, well, that might be the kind of thing that you'd see 2 or 3 of that you saw last year. But, that was the only time. And I think, he has matured a lot personally, and with the help of Napier, again, it's a little bit easy, I think, to say, oh, they blew it and pick on Dan and things. But tell you what, when it comes to quarterback whispering, whatever Billy's been whispering in Anthony's ears for the last 6 months is certainly taken hold.
It has. So the quarterback played well. The coach looks like the real deal. The offensive line, which everybody bitches about, was the star of the night. The crowd just sparkled. Did you see the comments by the Utah fans? They went over the moon about their experiences. They're all over Twitter. Yeah. I mean, I talk about, hey, it was nice. They raved about their experience. One of them said, I'm a Gator fan from now on. I'm going to be fine. Yeah. Love Anthony Richardson. The swamp was really neat. People were not. I mean, there was a recruiting poster. I'm telling you. Yeah. I've never seen the fan base react like that before.
Right. Well, I think part of it is they're Utahns who are just nice people anyway. Mm-hmm. You think of Utah and you think of Mitt Romney and Donnie Marie and people like that. That are. Not, but then it's also this is a testament to just bringing in teams like Utah that don't get that. I mean, going to the swamp is one of the great experiences in college football.
Yeah.
And any fan base would love to go and do it. And plus, there's not that years of animosity where, Tennessee fans come in, they hate the Gators and Gators hate them. Nobody hates Utah. I mean, you want to beat them, but there's not that intense rivalry. and so yeah, if I'm a, if I was a Utah fan, I think, man, or any team that never gets to the swamp says, I want to go just experience what that is like, because that's, if you're sitting in California, somebody says that, what is it really like? Because I've heard all this stuff about SEC football, and and I think they, it was a tough lesson, a bitter pill. It had to be for Utah in general, just because, it really just sort of reestablished what, there's, let's face it, there's SEC football, Big Ten football, and then there's, the Pac-10 kind of thing. And they saw that, even just talent aside, just the atmosphere, it's hard to imagine an atmosphere like that, or, in the Pac-10. I mean, Oregon comes up with it occasionally, Washington, but I mean, did you see the UCLA crowd?
Somebody
There was
told me it's about 2,000 or something there.
It looked like there were 2,000 people in the Rose Bowl. They said it was 27,000, but it's just a different. As they say, it just means more, as they say.
There you go. It does. Well, I mean, look, all said and done, the cliche is it was just one game. It was a lot more than one game because, and I've argued with people, they say, well, Kentucky's a lot more important. Well, no, when you come out of the box of your first coaching job and your first starting quarterback in the swamp, whatever, and all that against the number 7 team, I don't care if it is against the SEC, that Utah game was paramount. Now, I'm not saying it's more important than Kentucky, but it's equal to, and the results have showed why. Because we've been reminded of two things. And I wrote this in my column. I switched. I picked Utah. Then I went over on Thursday. I wrote my column. I switched back and said, here's why. After doing a little research, 2 main reasons. Number one, magical things do happen in the swamp. We've seen that before. And number 2, this Florida team is better than what we think they are. And also, I think the difference will be the swamp is going to come alive. So those are my reasoning. I happen to be right on that one. I don't often pick right, but and I've had a hunch that this is going to be a special night. And sometimes you can feel it in your bones. I do remember getting up out of my bed before the Super Bowl III, and when the name of the big Super Bowl upset thing, and something weird's going to happen today. I've felt it in my bones. I've felt it a little bit in my bones last week. I don't know how I feel in my bones about Kentucky. David, how do you feel?
Yeah. Well, I want you to know I also switched to Utah or to Florida, but I did it about 11:45 on Saturday night.
Good timing on your part.
Yeah. No, I think it's great that they have 2 games like this back to back. I think it beats the old 2 cupcakes to start the season thing. And B, I think that the swamp factor is going to be huge again, and that if they can beat Utah, I think Kentucky is not quite Utah. They're the mirror image, but not quite as good. So there's that if Florida just goes out and doesn't lay the ball down, or is big-headed, and I don't think they're going to be big-headed at all. As I said, I don't think Billy's going to let him
go there. Do you? I don't think he will allow that.
No, I don't think he will. And so if I was picking a score, I'd go like 23-14 Gators.
All right. When we come back, David, thank you so much. I hope you're feeling better. Appreciate you being on. Always love your stuff. Read David, by the way. Go to Gainesville Sun. The site. What is the site anymore? I don't even know.
Gainesville.com.
Gainesville.com. Look for David Weatherly's column. It's really good, and he's entertaining, and he's a really good reporter too. You can be funny and still be a good reporter, and David does that. We enjoy having him on as often as possible. Thanks for coming on the program tonight.
Sure, I'm inspired by the icons like Buddy Martin.
The old guy's still out there trying, right?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, buddy. We'll see you next week.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much. All right. So before we go to our next guest, we're going to get this in.
I had to turn the air on. It's hot.
And it is hot. Let's do this. I want to get this in. I think it's probably Lauren standing by. Here's what.
Talk to me. I feel like I've been here for hours. You just never even speak. I mean, you're panicked to not talk to me. I'm sitting right here. I'm a person.
Why don't you raise your voice and holler back out here?
You know,
I would like to play this video. Here's what.
First of all, I'd like to say, because we haven't even talked before the show started, before you have to get on it, is that for our friend Joe, he said that it would help us, because he's the guru of all things social media. He said it would help us if we would clean up the place. So for Joe, I put in the Christmas lights. And I don't think you even recognize that, and I just want you to know it hurts my feelings.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I have.
I hear you. All right, so your feelings, acknowledge your feelings were hurt. I want to acknowledge that Main Street Community Bank is a sponsor of the Green Room, soon to be the Orange and Blue Blood Room. Lots of stuff happening. People asking tonight about how to get involved. We'll tell you about that a little bit. And also tell you folks about Main Street, independent FDIC insured, locally operated full-service bank offering a broad range of financial services. It's my bank. I love going down there. It's about the people. North Magnolia, beautiful downtown Ocala, Main Street Community Bank of Ocala. Community is our middle name. In the Green Room, which is about to become the Orange and Blue Room, we're going to go find...
Orange Room today.
Well, it's orange because
Don't
of
wear
us.
blue.
Here we go. Here's what I'm going to set this clip up. Chris Doring last night was on, and we asked you, what's up, Chris, for this deal about you picking Kentucky, and how do you feel? Here's what he said. But now we got Kentucky. Florida's going to be favored this game. And now Kentucky's missing, obviously, Rodriguez and a couple other guys, maybe. We're not sure yet. And yet, you like Kentucky. I don't know if you picked yet, but tell me why.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is, buddy, you know this. In the preseason, you talk over every possible subject a million times, and you analyze and you reanalyze. And, you know, what happens in the first week of the season is sometimes your opinion changes. Now, I'm not ready to necessarily change my pick yet, but Kentucky's offensive line did not look good against Miami of Ohio. I mean, they gave up 4 sacks. They probably should have given up a few more if not for Will Levis' escapability. Not having Chris Rodriguez is huge in there. So, it doesn't look quite as uneven as I thought it was going to be with Florida's kind of resurgence as well. But one of the reasons why I was picking Kentucky in the offseason was the position of the game itself. Coming off a game against Utah where emotions were going to be high. Win or lose, it was going to be physical. You were going to be emotionally drained. This is right now where, as a coaching staff, you got to find a way to get guys back up again. And I think the competitiveness of the Kentucky-Florida rivalry the last 4 years will help do that. But this is a dangerous game for Florida, regardless of what happened on Saturday night at the Swamp and up in Lexington. Florida's going to have to be ready to go, as those players know, after the way that these two teams have gone one another the last couple of years.
Get a team up or get a team down. In this case, got to get them down from that high they're on right now. And Billy did that today, talking about how to get better. We could talk about some. I'm not going to critique with the performance right now because you got a great moment and you got to win. You got the dub, and now it's time to move on. Now look, last week I picked Utah on Tuesday. All right, I said, but I reserve the right now to change my pick, which I did in my column on Thursday, and on the air, I picked Florida by 3 points. Not that makes me any genius, but you can change your pick if that's what it comes out. You might get more information. This is only Mondays. Stuff can happen, right?
That's right. Yeah, we don't have any idea who's going to be available for Kentucky, as you mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of handicapping that goes into the week. Until you put that ticket in at the window, you're able to change your play.
No highlight reference, like being one of the stars. Okay, so final question: you're going to give us your pick on Wednesday night when you come to the Ocala Quarterback Club as the featured speaker. Looking forward to that.
I may have to do that. I'm looking forward to being there too, man. It's one of my favorite clubs to get a chance to visit. The folks down there are just very hospitable, as you know, and I consider that to be my second home as well, as much time as I've spent in that part of the North Central Florida area. So I'm excited to be back and looking forward to seeing you in person, buddy, hopefully.
I'm going to be there for you, and I'm coming back to the show. Right. But I want to say to you, you belong to us. You're one of ours, okay?
Thank you.
So we claim you here in Ocala as well. And your track record and your performance as an athlete and now as a broadcaster. I said this to you before, and I'll say it again. Move that down. When you had the walk-on, we were walk-on, preferred walk-on, you worked your way up to become world-class receiver just by hard work and repetition, whatever, and sweat. You're doing the same thing in your television career. I told you this before. You're getting better and better, and now look at you. Very proud of you, Chris, as a first of all, representative for Florida, my alma mater, but also for your performance and your ability to do so well in your analysis and your broadcasting. So thank you for that.
Thank you. You know that means a lot to me, buddy. We have a good friendship, a long-time friendship, but what I respect your experience in this business much longer than I've been doing it. So the fact that you're willing to say those things to me and encourage me, it really means a lot, man. So thank you for vocalizing that.
Thank you, Chris. I'll buy you a drink Wednesday night to Ocala Quarterback Club.
Sounds good, man. Look forward to seeing you. Go Gators.
Yeah, go Gators. Thanks very much. Chris Doring. All right, thanks very much, Chris. We're going to bring Lauren Meadows on in a moment. But first, we got to talk about some food. Got to eat healthy. That's what I'm doing. Here's what I do. I invited somebody yesterday, my friend Susan. Well, that's the food. I want to show the tree first.
Why? I'm hungry.
Yeah, that's the end product.
Well, I don't know what your plan is.
This is right here. This is the Grow
okay.
Tower.
There's the Grow Tower. Okay.
Sorry, folks. Rookie producer. He's only been doing it 25 years.
Yeah, it's only been 25 years.
Yeah.
It's we're blowing
anyway,
up. So
I'd like to put that in there and show people.
Would you like to put that in? Okay, here we go. Hold on. There it is. There you go. I'll put it in now for you.
That's my Grow Tower. That's what I do. I grow these greens and I eat them regularly. Had a sandwich today with them all. Very good. And you can get this at a reasonable price. There's a special going on. I don't know the details. I'll find out. DM me. I'll tell you. It's growtowers.com. It's actually buddytowers.com. And then if you get one of these, you can make dishes and things like Brendan just made and then took the hamburger off, whatever you did with it.
It's right there. It's your hamburger right there.
Okay, you move my things around.
Well,
all right, so here we go. So this is the end product of what we do, and I just want to show you that. Then we're going to go to our orange and blue room. Oh, look at that, man! Is that healthy or what? Good stuff. So that's what you do. Again, if you're interested in being a farmer like I am and going farm to table with stuff like that, you can DM me or call me, and I'll tell you how to do this. BuddyTowers.com. All right, let's go right now to our friend in the orange and blue blood room.
But temporarily the orange room, because we don't want you to wear blue at the home game this week. So it's a public service announcement brought to you by Brendan Martin.
No,
not
Buddy
Martin.
By Lauren Meadows. Who has a lot of headroom tonight. None of those people get tall.
Well, I know, but he's showing off he's got some, it's not gear, but he's got some cool. Yeah. What is that behind you, Lauren?
What's that?
What do you got behind you?
That's the back-to-back brackets from the 05-06. It's got the brackets from the tournament, and then I think over my shoulder is I think that's Al Horford in the game after the game in 06.
Nice.
Well, Lauren will be out and about this week. A lot of things going on. I do have to do this now. I'm under contract to do two things. I got to tell you about Gator Bait because you're writing some good pieces there. My producer says, I got to tell folks, this is all about Gator Bait production. And when you get involved with Gator Bait, you got a lot of good stuff coming. So if you don't know how to get it, I'm going to tell you, go to GatorBaitMedia.com, sign up for a program. We're about to make a huge announcement. Right, Brendan?
Huge.
So stay tuned for that. Lauren is going to be out there. He's going to be covering the Gators. He and his wife did a tailgate last week. They're masters at it. Wrote a piece about it. And Lauren will. What do you want me to do here, Brendan? You're pointing to the screen.
I want you to slide this over. There you go.
Okay, thank you very much.
To the chat room, I just want you to know, Buddy's very concerned about you tonight because I keep trying to get him to look at the guests, but he wants to read the comments.
Well, here's the thing about it. I have no distractions at all.
That's none.
I'm just trying to host a show and talk, whatever.
This is called the transition. I'm transitioning.
Yeah.
Speaking of the chat room, you can keep us from fighting and give us some sleep if you donate a few stars. How do you donate stars? I don't really know technically, but if you press that little star button in the chat, Facebook will tell you how to donate stars. So the star bar is open, my friends, and I can't pay the tab. Help us out, give some stars, and go Gators. That's it.
Yeah, here's the thing about it. We're going to have a new feature. We're going to actually award the person every week or whatever, every 2 weeks, who give us the most stars.
Yes.
We're gonna give you something, not just any old thing.
No.
Stuff around here.
Like an empty bottle of
no, we have a few little goodies, things you can't buy. So there you go.
Right.
Lauren, I've jabbered enough.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk football. I know you were really impressed. You were down in the locker room. What'd you see and what'd you hear and what'd you think?
Well, the first thing was you could tell that for as kind of critical that Billy Napier was of his team and the film on Monday, he was pretty fired up to get the win. I mean, I think that, he's kept a lot of things pretty close to the vest, including his emotions. And one of the things that I found was interesting is you could kind of see him smile and really enjoy the win. And he was also really glowing about his quarterback. I mean, obviously he knows that Anthony Richardson has a long way to go, but at the same time, I think he was pleased with the young man coming out, leading the football team, going down on a game-winning drive, and doing so efficiently. And I think he was just extremely pleased with the effort, the physicality of his team, and just happy to come out with the win against a quality football team. Like I said on Sunday, and Ben Troop echoed it as well,
Right.
You can call it Pac-12, you can call it whatever, but Utah's going to win some football games. And, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up a 11-1, 10-2 football team. And, it was a good win. Lucky to get out of there with the win, but that's the way football goes. That's literally the way the ball bounces. Fortunately, it seems to bounce Florida's way. And a lot of times, particularly in the swamp. And, he was really pleased with his football team, at least coming out of that game on Saturday night.
All right, good points. All right, let's talk about this game, and we're not going to do X's and O's exactly. But
Hold on, we just got stars.
Yeah, thank you.
Stars.
We're going to pick a Red Star of the Week here soon.
I'm going to keep the horn close.
Behalf of our
because I know how you like it.
Yeah, I do love it. So it's not distracting at all. I'm just trying to do a show here. Lauren, I don't know if you saw the hype video we opened the show with or not. I sent you a copy of it.
We did not make it.
Yeah,
well,
I haven't been able to look at it yet. I was actually right.
You're working, huh? Yeah. Anyway, this like somebody said, if that didn't get you jacked up, what will? It is an amazing video, and it has a lot of stuff from the coach, from Billy, and talking to his team. And he made a statement at the end, and he told them, I want you to learn something. It's not about playing football. You all have been playing football all your life. It's about a team having your back, somebody having your back in your team and fighting when you need to fight. I thought it was very inspirational. I'm ready to go back and see if I have an eligibility a year left or whatever and do a walk-on.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's really something. Those of you who saw it, I mean, really, it was great. So,
yeah.
All right. So I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to repeat it I said earlier. For all you folks who heard it earlier, I'm sorry. I've been saying what? Don't fall in love on the first date, right? We warned you about that because of Mullen, and we were very cautious and have been for 9 months here now about getting overly excited about a coach that we haven't seen coach a game. Now that we've seen him, now that I saw what he did and how his team responded to him, I'm saying, forget about it. You didn't fall in love on the first day, but it's okay to fall in love on the second day and the third and the fourth and fifth because the romance is on with Billy Napier. It's going to be one heck of a marriage and engagement. So go ahead, hit it.
Thanks, Rodney Godman. 100 stars.
Well,
hey, stars.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
Star
Bob.
horn.
Go ahead.
So what I'll say is, I think the second date, we definitely going to get a second date with Billy Napier, but let's just make sure that we don't get a little bit of wildcat food poisoning. And what I mean by that is, I think you can look at, Utah, a team from Pac-12, and, Kentucky playing a team in Miami who plays a good brand of football under Chuck Martin, but is not Utah, but just don't get lost in the sauce yet. I mean, a week a team does not make. And like Billy Napier said on Monday, I mean, I think he made it a point to let everybody know that, the tape was extremely sloppy, not unexpected, but we still have a long way to go as a football team, and there should have been situations where there could have been at least 3 turnovers in the game. But to Billy Napier's point, I think Florida's developing a team where they have learned to fight, overcome adversity. And there's going to be times in the game on Saturday where things aren't going to go well. And I think that at least the plan is in place. There's a foundation where I think the team is learning to depend on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, 500 stars. It was a big one, Lauren.
I'm sorry, just ignore it.
Star Horn!
Hey, go ahead,
I need
Lauren.
a glass of wine.
Please go get one.
So, and obviously Florida has a much better roster than Kentucky. And, it just comes down to execution. And you look at last year's game, I understand that, it was at Kentucky and things like that, but you're basically getting more of the same. And it's what I kind of wrote about in my article. More of the same is the fact that another physical football team that prides themselves on playing extremely physical football, efficient offense with ferocious defense. And one of the things I think that I guess I'll give Kentucky a little kudos is that at least interests me is they brought a offensive coordinator over from the San Francisco 49ers who's running that Mike Shanahan, Sean McVay system that you're probably familiar with your time in Denver. And, it's going to be interesting to see how we defend some of the motions, the different sets, and that outside zone, which, can be pretty tough to defend. So I look for another physical football game, low scoring, close football game, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, we're going to do this now real quick.
Wait.
We're going to
Star Horn 2 times while I was getting wine. There were two stars. Stars. Thank you for the stars. I got some wine. Okay, done. Bye.
Sorry, Lauren. I apologize.
It's a lot of stars.
So here's the deal. We're going to play this video. We're going to bring in our young reporter, and because people have asked me, they want to know, how do I become part of this group?
Oh my God! We're getting rich! Woo! Star
You need to
Horn!
find yourself another studio.
Joe Black,
You need to go-
Rodney
you
Godman,
need to go
Joe,
find- you need to go
Christopher
find-
Whitfield.
All right,
They can't get
all
enough
right.
of the Star
Here we
Horn.
go. Here's what I want to play anyway, right here. Okay, we'll find later on what we're going to do with that, but want to know, are you ready to take the place? You ready, Gator fans? Okay, here you go. Right over left. Right over left. Repeat after me. I believe in the boys and girls from old Florida.
I believe in the boys and girls from old Florida.
In all kinds of weather.
In all kinds of weather.
And I won't back down. Kyle's on.
Won't back down.
Trumpet. There you go. You're back. Hold on. Okay. All right, there you go. That's the quarterback club, and we'll be there tomorrow night, and Chris Stewart will be there. We're going to do this, Lauren, and your wife has got a good way to tell the pledge. She's going to be baptizing people up in the swamp, I believe, this weekend. Let's bring our little buddy in here, Kyle Curtis. Let's talk about
buddy. Kyle. Poor Kyle.
All right. Anyway.
We don't have to call you, hey, buddy, little buddy.
All right.
Kyle's not even over enough to drink.
Okay. You just have your glass of wine. Let me talk.
No. Here, I got your glass.
Kyle, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm good. How about you guys?
I thought you were going to have a heart attack. Don't worry about me. I'm just doing a show. On the game, you sat next to me in the press box. You had the full press box experience. And, boy, there were some moments you came out of your chair and not being able to, Lauren, him not being able to cheer was killing him. This is his first experience in the press box. But, hey, it was there. How was it, by the way?
Yeah, I think I said something to Lauren because Lauren came up at halftime to the press box, and I think I was like, I love it, but I think the hardest, I find myself like sitting there tapping my knuckle.
Oh yeah, I saw you. You were tapping on. You were tapping away.
I was like, oh my gosh, because I mean, when it comes down to it, the fan really came out in me. But it was one of the coolest experiences of my life. I texted my parents right after the game that I know that this is what I want to do, and that cemented it. And I was lucky enough for that to be my first experience.
Star is born.
Yeah, and
Starhorn!
if I get through the night, folks, please. So the deal is, Kyle, people don't know your story, don't know your story about you're going to school at Florida, and you've been working for us for about 9 months, and now you're putting together a game day Gator Bait page with Lauren. Lauren, they're doing a fine analysis, and Kyle is doing a lot of the other work, and so we'll be seeing and hearing from you along the way.
He's going to be doing a lot more work.
Yeah, we got some things carved out for you. We're going to talk to you about, Lauren.
Now we're going to use to definitely do a lot more stuff from the field and some little videos and stuff.
He knows a little bit about it. We'll talk about it there. But what I want to do here now is I want to. It's okay. I want to put this on. Right. Lauren, you can speak to this.
Kyle, we'll talk later.
This is your. Do it on your own time. Oh. So here's the deal.
I'm kind of your boss. What about that?
Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, again, I'm fighting through this, folks, the best I can. All right. Here's Marcia and Jen doing this. Lauren, you comment on it.
Now?
No, that's but those are good. Buddy's Towers.
No, because my
Buddy's growing green.
With the mess you created on here, what I'm trying to get to. That's okay. I'm trying to find my stuff.
You can actually see the desktop.
Repeat after me. I believe in the boys and girls of old Florida.
I believe in the boys and girls of old Florida.
In all kinds of weather.
In all kinds of weather.
And I won't back down.
And I won't back down.
Chomp.
Well, there you go, and that's there's Marcia.
Stars, star horns.
You need to go to Hollywood. So, what about that, Lauren? I'm told that you may be active in the stands in the Swamp this Saturday night.
Yeah, well, that was Marcia, my wife, and Jen Lay down in Orlando, and right there they took the orange and blue blood pledge, and kind of our mission going forward is in the next couple weeks we want to baptize and get as many people in the stands pledged as we can. We'll be doing some videos, and Marcia will kind of be going around getting everybody chomped up and into the orange and blue bloods, kind of in an effort to put football back in the hands of the fans. So that's kind of the mission there for sure.
Yeah, and we'll tell you more about it, folks. Here's what you got to know. We're creating a group. Brendan is doing some work for a change, and he's creating a space for you. And we're going to have this. So if you don't know, we have an orange and blue blood show with Ben Troop and Lauren on Sunday morning, which we had quite a group for us. So we'll be doing that, and you're going to have a place, Brendan, for telling about signing up. Well, a place you can go sign up for it.
It's too early. You're too early.
All right. Anyway, thank you, Brendan.
I just got here. Thank you so much.
All right. So anyway, so I will say final thoughts.
Because there's air conditioning on. I think someone's air conditioning is loud. Is that air conditioning I hear?
No.
That's my trained producer here. I hear somebody's got like a.
It's actually a TV, I think, or something in the background. All right. So I'll say good night to both you guys. Kyle. See you, talk to you later. You're going to practice tomorrow. Lauren, you'll be picking up some stuff, and we will be writing about it. Don't forget, Gator Bait Game Day. You can find out all you need to know about the Gators on your Friday edition. Sign up for Gator Bait. Go to GatorBaitMedia.com and find out the plan you want, all the activities taking place, and there's a bunch of it.
A bunch more coming.
Can't wait to tell you about it. All right?
All right. See you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right.
Stars. Christopher Whitfield's giving us stars. Brian Joseph says horn. Stars for you. Charles Lewis. Stars.
We have created a monster.
Joe Blackman. Stars.
Sissy Long gave a bunch earlier.
Sissy Long gives it. By the way,
every week,
every night.
Give her
Sissy Long. I don't even need to look.
Hold on.
Listen. Her and Dan Bond. I'm thinking are, I don't know. I don't want to exclude, but I consistently always bunches of extra like star with a double star.
All right, so let me just get my folks a shout out to Rent Star. They'll have a Rent Star of the week.
Oh, I love that. Nice segue.
Yeah, and I want to tell you about what they do. And you see the logo on the screen up here, which used to be here. Let's get it back on.
It's right there.
And what's that?
Your Main Street? Oh no, where are you? Oh, Red Star Stars.
Yeah, I know. I got
they're really special. I'm not Kyle, although I do have really young looking skin.
Yeah, right.
I think Kyle looks a little older than me, really.
What I want to tell you about, folks, are my friends who've been making this possible for a long time. They do some terrific work in the community, and they also are looking out for our health and what they're doing with these clinical trials they're doing. They've done well over almost 700 clinical trials over the years, and they take the information and data, they send it off to the pharmaceutical companies. They send it off. I'm sorry, Winstar. I'm trying to give you a little love here, but
it's like home runs on the damn package.
So anyway, thank you for your participation. I want to say a couple of things they've done. They have a clinical trial now on psoriasis. They just had one on migraine headaches. They have one on Alzheimer's. And you can sign up for these things. And you could be a member of the group. And if you're a member of the group and you qualify, you get to come in and you get to be evaluated by a physician or a group. You get to you get diagnosis. You get medication, which you can't get anywhere else. It's trial medication. And so there's all kind of benefits to taking part in it. Go to Renstar.net, look it up, find out what the details are, or you can go call them and find out more about it. 352-629-5800, Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Okay, there you go. Now, Brendan, you have video to play here or what?
Stars, thank you, Brian Joseph. Joe Blackburn, thank you very much. Queenie Quanda Arnold. Did I'm saying that right?
Queenie's always on, yeah.
Stars for her, thank you very much. I don't want to leave anybody. Dan Bond, you always give stars, and we give you love. Christopher Whitfield, big star giver tonight. Charles Lewis, thank you for the stars. Star Bar is always open. Thank you, everybody. Oh, yeah, we're going to play a special video for all 50 of you left on here. I think it's 50. It says there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of folks.
Well, it's down to about 30.
Hold on. First of all, can you acknowledge that we have a glass of wine? First of all, nice to see you.
Who are you, by the way?
I don't know. Look, who am I?
Yeah.
I'm definitely not adopted.
We're wearing orange because
it's a public service announcement.
You don't wear your blue on Saturday, okay?
Why is that, buddy?
Well, there seems to be a team from Kentucky who's been known to be from the Bluegrass State.
You don't say.
Who wears blue.
Oh.
So you want to make sure. I'll probably be wearing white, actually, because I've got a white Gator Base shirt. I talked to Rebecca tonight.
I'll be wearing white.
You'll be wearing white.
Because
all of our team will be wearing white.
Well, they put us in bibs.
Yeah.
So on the field. Speaking of that, on the field. Oh, by the way, you can always donate stars. That's what we were talking about tonight. If you didn't know, you can do that through Facebook, and you're smart enough to figure that out. GatorBaitMedia.com. We're going to push, because that's how we make our money, folks. You can read. We're going to reignite the podcast. We have got a ton of new stuff that's going to be coming to the website, and it will be really, really a good. Probably in the next week or so, you're going to see a lot of that change.
So stars and so on. So you got a great video to go out on.
Yeah, well, and we're dilly.
Dilly.
Come on, don't look so sad that I'm back.
Headache. I got to go to that migraine study.
Migraine study?
Yeah.
Why?
A horn in my ear.
But we can pay for it now. Hey, so I get to go on the field. That's pretty cool. I shoot a bunch of stuff.
All right, talk about your video.
So it's not a hype video. It's just a simple sort of,
What do you got
say?
A bunch of hits, man. 65,000 people watched it.
There's more than that.
Well, that's last time I looked. It may be 100,000 now.
You think it's that many?
I don't know.
I think it could be potentially.
That's your job. I don't have any idea what that is.
Well, all right. See, now I don't know where you put everything, so I think it's.
I didn't put anything.
I'm gonna go.
What's that right there?
I'm gonna go right here. I'm going to go here. No, that's our hype video. That was earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see.
So you got to label them right, Brendan.
I'm scared. What do you think it is?
Let's go.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Say good night, folks. Thanks for watching.
I wanted to say cheers to you, and I just want to say I love you.
Okay.
He almost cried.
I love you.
He almost cried. Don't kiss me though. All right. I'm gonna kiss you right
Good
now.
night, folks.
Mwah.
Good.
Where's your clothes,
Well,
Dad?
let me just take you back.
Joe, we put up the Christmas lights. You told us to class up the place.
Wrecked everything.
Hey, Joe. Hey, we're gonna see. We're doing
night,
a new
everybody.
podcast tonight called
Good night.
Later
Your
Gator.
dog is going crazy.
Later Gator.
Your
Check
dog
it out.